That four-letter word that starts with an S. Welcome back. So we just got a foot of heavy, wet snow, and it sucks. It ruined any plans I had of taking the cars out for some fun this weekend. Would have been lazy and left at least the R8 side of the driveway unshoveled, but I have appointments with it later this week, and when you have a foot of heavy snow like that and it melts and refreezes night after night, it gets to where it's like solid ice, and then it's really, really hard, if not impossible, to remove. So I did what I had to do now. Yeah, my back's gonna kill me tomorrow. Next time I'm just gonna pay someone 20 bucks to plow for me. Totally worth it. Alright, so it's like 7:13 in the morning and I have to cold start the car. So cold start's really loud on this car. You can't force the valves to be closed, and it doesn't until the RPMs come down from cold start. So I'm gonna start it with the garage door closed, and I figured I would put my little decibel meter in front of the camera so we can see how loud it gets, because it's pretty loud. I took the car in for a track alignment to Santa Fe Garage. The OEM spec isn't terrible necessarily, but when you track it or drive it fairly hard, it eats the shoulders of the tires up pretty bad. And that gets expensive because you end up replacing them well before the rest of the tread's actually low. And by the way, this shop is awesome. They have their own machine shop attached, and they'll fabricate whatever you need to get your suspension beyond whatever the factory adjustments will allow. So in this case, they fabbed me some 3/16 inch shims for the front lower control arms, and that took the front camber from negative 1.65 roughly to negative 2.5. And an extra degree of front camber should help a lot. It does on most cars. We decided to leave everything else alone for now just to see how it does, and then I'm going to go back and give them feedback after my next track day, and then we'll go from there. Really cool shop, and they eat, sleep, and breathe race cars, so it's pretty much everyone's locally speaking, everyone's top recommendation whenever you ask where to go for a track alignment. The R8 started to get random low coolant messages, so I decided to take it in. The temperatures have been fine, so I wasn't too concerned about it, but instead of trying to top it off myself, I decided there's probably a reason it's low, and since it's under warranty, I'll just have them take care of it. There's also a recall for the DCT's breather tube, and I guess whenever you're doing some really high cornering G's, it can leak transmission fluid out, and then that can get on your exhaust, and then it causes a fire, or it can cause a fire, so yeah, probably worth getting that fixed. They gave me an A5 loaner this time. It's an A5 coupe. It's got the 2-liter turbo. I think it's the same motor in the S3. It's not bad, but I think I actually like the Q5 they gave me last time better, which is really weird because I'm not really a SUV person. But I digress. Hopefully they finish it today because it's gonna snow again tomorrow. 1 to 3 inches this time though, so not as bad as the foot that we just got last week. They did promise to keep it indoors regardless, which is cool, and I did stress to them not to touch the alignment and that it's intentionally out of spec. So hopefully they oblige. So I got the M235i's winter set from Tire Rack. They sent TPMS sensors with them that I paid for, and they didn't work. Which happens. M235i did switch mid-year to the type of sensor they used in 2014, which that's the year my car is, so go figure. But they sent me the other ones and they didn't work either. And of course, they didn't just send them to me, they made me pay for them, so at that point I'd paid for 2 sets and neither worked. I went to Discount Tire down the street and they have TPMS tool, and it wasn't able to get either set paired. And Tire Rack's support kind of sucks. It's been like a 2-month period. There's 2 different times where their support just completely forgot about my case, and then at the 2-week mark I realized, why haven't they got back to me? And then I opened communication with them again and they're like, oh sorry, that was our bad, twice. So like 2 months of back and forth, and then me basically having 2 TPMS cents that I paid for that don't work. It was nearly $500 total between the 2 sets, and it's just really annoying. So I had Mobile Tire Service come. We have a, I don't know if it's a local thing or national, but it's like a whole tire shop in a van, and they'll come to you, and it's been really handy for a lot of stuff. I just called them up, they came, they pulled the sensors off, and I mailed them back. It's really annoying not being able to see my pressures and temperatures, and it's also annoying, you know, getting the tire light all winter, but I'm really over trying to mess with TPMS for now. So it's interesting, my M2 wouldn't let me leave comfort mode, and anytime there's any air light on, including the tire light. But for some reason, the M235i just doesn't care, so I really lucked out there. Also, kind of random, but I have an acquaintance with an M2 competition. He had the original M2 and pre-ordered it, I believe, the same time I did, so that's how I know him. We've chatted on Facebook, but he's local to me, and he just traded it recently for the M2 competition, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to see if he wants to line him up. I mean, I know drag racing is and everything, and the M2 comp would stomp my car around a track, but I thought it'd be interesting to see what a Stage 2 Plus N55 does in a straight line against a slightly detuned S55 in the M2 competition. And technically, I think his car weighs more. So I don't know, I think it'd be a decent race, but I'll try to get lined up, but no promises. And also, speaking of the M235i, I got the spark plugs in it, and I have an update for everyone, so I'll get that video uploaded probably after this one. But hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.